Hey guys, on today's video I'm going to show you everything you need to know in order to catch a Diamond Channel Catfish on Golden Ridge Reserve. So first of all, we're gonna start by talking about the tackle. In order to be able to catch this channel catfish, you can use both a float setup or a bottom setup. It really doesn't matter which one you choose in most situations, at least in the case of the locations I'ma show you. You are gonna get bites either way. So the first thing is that regardless of what kind of setup you choose, I would recommend you to choose a rod with a maximum line strength of minimum 5 kilos and ideally at least 7.5 kilos. It is up to you to decide if you want to equip a weaker or stronger rod if you want less or more challenge at the moment you fight the fish. But in my opinion, using a 7.5 kilo line strikes a nice balance in the sense that the fights are not gonna be too hard, but they aren't gonna be too easy neither, which at the same time optimizes the amount of money and experience you get per fish. Then when it comes to the reel, I would suggest you to equip a reel with a maximum drag of around 10 kilograms. For example, this Pure Champion is a great option. I would also recommend using a hook size number 6 to be able to catch everything from bronze to diamond, at least in the case of the first location, because on the second location you can perfectly use a hook size number 4, which is only for silvers and better, and still get a nice number of bites. Just don't forget to use any of the baits listed for the catfish inside the handbook, for example redworm. Now another very important thing you need to consider when going for this catfish is the chum. The channel catfish responds exceptionally well to the mash blend. Tossing out a single ball of this mash blend is more than enough to chum the waters and concentrate a nice amount of catfish on a single spot. The amount of catfish attracted by the chum is gonna vary depending on the location, but in the case of the first hotspot I'ma show you, it really does work great. Chumming the waters is by no means an obligatory requirement in order for this guy to work, but it's certainly something that makes things a lot easier. And the best part is that it is very easy to do. The only thing you have to do is to first of all toss out one of these mash blend balls using either your hand or the slingshot, and once the chum is already in the water attracting the fish, just make sure to cast towards the position where it landed, and normally you can expect to catch around 4 or 5 fish from that same spot before the bite starts to slow down. So once you aren't getting bites from that place anymore, what I would recommend you is to again toss out more chum to attract even more fish, but this time make sure to throw it towards a different place. And repeat the process. Now, as for the first location I'ma show you on this video, this area, this starting lake, is honestly my favorite spot to catch a Diamond Channel Catfish. There's currently no other place on this map that produces more Diamond Catfish than this one. And the best part about this spot is that seemingly it doesn't really matter which time you choose. Whether if you choose a daytime or a nighttime server, it doesn't matter, since in my experience it is always loaded with catfish. Which frankly is fantastic because, as you know, the channel catfish is supposedly a nocturnal species, so having a spot where that doesn't seem to matter is amazing. On this hotspot the diamonds can spawn pretty much anywhere, but I definitely recommend you to stand around the center, since from this position it is possible to reach any part of the lake. I would suggest you to cast all around this area right after tossing out some chum. You can take these 3 markers as reference, and make sure to be patient. This spot is fantastic. As I said, it is normally loaded with catfish, but catching a diamond still can take time. Normally takes less than 100 catches, taking into account all the bronzes, silvers and golds, but in some occasions it can take a lot more than that. So even though this spot produces more diamonds than average, you are still gonna have to put some effort. Ooh, is that big? That looked big, and the tension is very high. This guy is huge. After roughly 20 catches, we finally have what is at least a gold. I can guarantee you this is at least a gold. Let's see the size. Are you a diamond, buddy? No, 7.73 kilos. It is a big gold. We caught him using a hook size number 6, which is on a 7.5 kilo line. Both the cheese and the redworm work fantastic. Oh, that's huge. Like actually huge. I feel it is heavier than that first gold. The question is if it is heavy enough to be diamond. That is a good question, but I feel he may be. We may be able to land our first diamond of the day. Come on. How big are you? 7.83. I thought it was way bigger, not gonna lie. Although we can't deny this is a nice looking catfish. No way. That's huge. Really high tension, it quickly forced us to lower the drag. So either this guy is a huge gold or a small diamond. You know, this is without any doubt the heaviest catfish we have hooked today, but I don't think the tension is high enough to really convince me it is a diamond. I still have my doubts, but let's see. We are about to land it. Oof! 9.02 kilos, let's go. We had to catch like 7 or 8 calls before this guy spawned. It certainly didn't happen quickly since I've been fishing here for about 2 hours, but it finally happened, and it's great to see. We caught him exactly right here. Oh my god! This one is taking a lot of line. Way more than the diamond. Will this be our new biggest diamond catfish? They are uncommon, so beating my current personal best would be amazing. And we're about to see if this guy is actually heavy enough to beat it. Maybe. Well, it isn't too far, 11.25. That is a huge diamond. One of the biggest catfish I've gotten so far. Now, going over the second location I'ma show you in this video, this is actually a spot that I've shown on many of my past guides due to the fact that it is fantastic to catch multiple species, including catfish, hoary trout, green sunfish, white crappie, and even smallmouth bass. I'm talking about this lake right here. This hotspot, in contrast with the last location, is not as good for the channel catfish during the day, but it's certainly possible to catch diamonds at any time. So what I would recommend you is to first of all choose an evening server. Come here equipped with the setup I already shown you. You can try with either a hook size number 6 with red worm or cheese or a hook size number 4. The thing with this spot is that normally a hook size number 4 will get you a nice number of bites, but that isn't always the case. So if you aren't happy with the number of bites you are getting while using a hook size number 4 even after tossing out some chum, make sure to switch over to a hook size number 6 and start catching all the bronzes that are probably gonna be in the area. Here the diamonds can spawn pretty much anywhere within this lake, but in my experience, the majority of the big catfish tend to spawn either around this bottom marker or around this top marker. Personally, I've had great luck around this top marker. I believe I've got like 5 or 6 diamonds only around this area, so it is definitely a great spot, and putting emphasis there can be a good idea. Whatever is about to bite, I don't know if it is a catfish or a hoary trout, it looks big. That's gotta be catfish. You know, one great thing about this spot is that while fishing for catfish, there's also a good chance you'll catch a huge hoary trout. Like, I remember one time I got a fish on the hook size number 4 and I could swear the tension was from a gold catfish, but it ended up being a diamond hoary trout. Well, on this case this guy is only gold, with a weight of 6.48 kilos. Small gold. Oh, hold up. Hold up, this one is heavier. I feel the tension is comparable to the tension the first diamond we caught on the other location put on a line. So I certainly wouldn't be surprised at all if this guy is heavy enough. Is this a diamond? No, 7.93 kilos. It is the biggest gold catfish I've caught today on this location, so it isn't too bad. I'll take it. Well, I think this may actually be diamond. I've been fishing on this spot for roughly 1 hour and a half, and after 5 calls, I honestly don't know if we're about to catch a diamond, but that is definitely the biggest catfish of the night. We are currently fishing around the top marker I shown you by the way, using a hook size number 4, and the amount of silvers I've been catching is honestly impressive. There's no other location on this game that has more silver catfish than this one, not even the first location. You know, the first hotspot is in my opinion better to catch golds and diamonds, but when it comes to simply catching lots of catfish, I really don't think there's any other place better than this lake, and that is at night. Because as I said earlier, it isn't as great as the first location during the day. Now it's time to land this guy. Hopefully heavy enough to be diamond. And there we have it, it made it. 9.09 kilos. What a nice looking fish. I think the model is far from being perfect, but it's not too bad. And once you know locations like this one, fishing for these guys becomes really fun. This spot is seriously loaded. Now, apart from the two locations I already shown you, which I honestly think are the two best hotspots to find the Diamond Channel Catfish, there are many other places where it's also possible to catch them. For example, one of those areas that also happens to be very decent is this area right here, in front of this dock. You come here using a hook size number 6 with minnow, looking to catch all the bass, the pikes and the muskies, and when you least expect it, apart from also getting a nice amount of walleyes and shovel-nosed sturgeons, a huge catfish appears. So anyway my friends, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to leave a like and a comment to support the video, and please consider subscribing to the channel to receive the notifications for all the upcoming guides. So with that said, thank you for watching and see you next time.